Welcome back, mates. Crypto Leverage Trading Group. Good morning to everybody, all Cryptoballers, all Oracle disciples, anyone and everywhere in crypto, all over the world. It is about world domination, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And that's what we're seeing, and you've got to embrace. Okay, today's Thursday morning updates about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bitcoin is above 39,000. We actually tested. If you are following in our group, you follow the market analysis in our group, you can find that link to a free trading community in the description. We tested that 39,600 level, which is a critical level really of resistance, okay, before we move on into 40,000 and to test the all-time high and ultimately above 42,000, which I firmly expect. Remember, we are in a long trade. If you were in our group, our 510-240, we entered in at the call level 32,428. Okay, so we are now well above that, $7,000 above that entry. Okay, and this is how we play support and resistant moves in the overall market. But this morning, I'm going to focus on a couple things. How, Bitcoin just broke through a head and shoulders formation, which is a typical technical analysis term, which is usually a reversal pattern, okay? And this isn't the first time, okay? Bitcoin acts very independently from other assets, other currencies, stocks, bonds, okay? And so much of that is predicated on one simple word, and that word is scarcity, okay? We all know Bitcoin has a max supply. But even when the supply is being held, okay, it's been accumulated and bought and held, okay? The difference with blockchain technology, as I've said numerous times to everybody in our group, is we have the metrics available to us to see exactly what's happening on the blockchain, exactly what's happening with all of that Bitcoin, right? We know where everything is happening. Now, if you go back and for a moment, depending on when that first entry or first purchase you made of Bitcoin, mine was 2013, mates. Okay. When you had to locate, you had to find a place. It was like cumbersome to get and exchange Bitcoin, purchase Bitcoin, exchange Bitcoin, get the fiat, right? We're so far beyond that now. Okay. And here's what's happened that people are losing sight of. How many exchanges did we have for Bitcoin in 2011, 12, 13, 14 that were exchanging Bitcoin? How many exchanges do we have today in 2021? Okay. If you look at what's happening on the exchanges, the amount of level of available Bitcoin is declining. So it's declining. And when that happens, you enter into a phase of also scarcity, okay, where the exchanges have to get out. They've got to cover their exchanges. They've got to, especially if you're talking about a leverage trading exchange like BitSeven, okay, and the requirements for other exchanges on futures and perpetuals and swaps and all the regulations involving any of those exchanges of what capital they have to keep on hand, right, to protect them, right, and so look how many exchanges we have. Look at how much Bitcoin has to be accumulated, okay? And who's buying on these big dips, right? The retailers are getting freaking taken out. That's us, the retail consumer, right? Maybe we freaking get crushed and we exit and we sell at a loss. People are doing this, we say get wrecked, right? And individual investors are getting wrecked. Institutional investors aren't getting wrecked. Whales aren't getting wrecked. Look what's happening on the on-chain. Check out the number of addresses with rising levels of Bitcoin over the last 5 years. How many addresses have more than 100 Bitcoin, more than 1,000 Bitcoin, more than 10,000 Bitcoin, right? You can keep going up and up and up over the next decade, right? Right? They're not losing money, okay? And they're not getting wrecked. And a lot of that is coming from this notion of, look, it's a scarcity, okay? There is a max supply, and the mentality needs to shift, okay? To why are we going to go back to 40,000? Like, why didn't we go back to 20,000? Why aren't we going to get wrecked like we did in March, okay? A year later, things have changed, okay? And things are evolving. And the adoption is double, okay, of what's happening here in the market. So those are things I want you to consider today when you watch Bitcoin go past 39,000.